So, hello everybody and welcome. Yes, welcome back here at BSN Network. Huki back here, BSN Network. This is the BSN Network podcast here today. It is Wednesday, February 2nd. Hopefully everybody's having a day so far and a good rest of their day yesterday. It is, in fact, Wednesday, February 2nd here today, coming off another big night last night in sports. You could see today I am repping the Artemi Panarin jersey, and yes, the New York Rangers last night got a very big win heading into this 14-day break, which is the All-Star break, and then, just a long break coming up, and they will be off all the way up until Tuesday, February 15th, so 13 days off, 14, now 13, whatever you want to say, so 13 days off. They won't have a game for the next 2 weeks, so it's going to be a long time without Rangers hockey. But last night, for them to get a win against a really good Florida Panthers team, who, by the way, Monday night put up 8 goals on a struggling Columbus Blue Jackets team, but still, 8 goals is 8 goals. I don't care who you put it up against. Scoring 8 goals in an NHL game is a rarity. I mean, 5 goals is a lot. 3 goals is a lot. To score 8, that's on another level. I don't care what competition you're playing. To score 8 goals is a lot. Then to go into the next game, and the Rangers started off that, first period was awful. First period was not a good period. We did score. We got, a little lucky there. They don't, hey, as long as you get it done, you get it done. But, you had the goal by Sabanajad, which hit off the defenseman's stick, which was 30 seconds into the game. And then they just seemed to dominate us the rest of the third period, dominating us in shots. Game did not start well. Much better second period and a much better third period. And the Rangers were able to get the win. So I'm happy today about the Rangers. The other team I'm not happy about is the Brooklyn Nets, and they fall again last night by a score of 121 to 111. Look, it's the defense. At this point, it's the defense. You score 111 points, you should be able to stand with some of the best teams in the league. And, that's the reality of it. If you score 111 points, you should put yourself in a good position to win, not losing by double digits. And, yesterday is just not a good loss. It's, again, now we did not expect much, but when you play that way on offense, and you kind of find a groove and you score 111 points and you let up 121, what? This is the issue. Our defense, again, failing late. And Devin Booker with an amazing game. Just amazing. He looked like a superstar out there, which he is one of the better ones in the league, but come on. Devin Booker's not Michael Jordan. He's very good, and our defense, that's the issue. Our defense cannot stop those caliber players. So, another frustrating loss last night for the Nets. Happy night for the Rangers. You got to hope that the Nets turn things around sooner rather than later. Now, 5 straight losses. They will play again tonight, second half back-to-back, against Sacramento, which, believe it or not, I am optimistic about tonight. A very struggling Sacramento team, a rebuilding team, a team that's kind of in a weird stage where you don't know what's going to happen with De'Aaron Fox. Maybe the possibility he gets traded. They're in a rebuild. I believe they're 18-34 on the season, so kind of in a weird stage. They just lost to the Knicks the other night, so you kind of got to hope that, for the Nets' sake, get a win tonight, boost some confidence, and you'll be in a good, not a good position, but you'll be better if you get a win tonight and get back on the right track. Because losing all these games, we went from being such a solid team to now 29-21 and finding ourselves just trying to win so we could stay within the 5-6 seed area. If we keep losing, it's not going to get good. So, Rangers need to get back on track. They'll play tonight against the Kings. Rangers have a day off for 2 weeks. So, 13 days until the Rangers play again. So, they will be not in action for 13 days. Next game will be Tuesday, February 15th. However, like I said, Nets on tonight, second half of back-to-back against Sacramento, and the Knicks, fresh off a day off, will host the Memphis Grizzlies tonight at the Garden, 7:30 Eastern. I believe that's the tip of that game, and I believe it's ESPN, so I believe it's nationally televised. Kentucky as well on tonight, off a big win against Kansas on the road, 5th-ranked team in the nation. You're now a 14-point favorite against a Vanderbilt team that is very beatable. What are they, 11-9 at home? This is a spot for a letdown game. Kentucky and John Calipari need to make sure they're ready. Because you know Vanderbilt's going to come out feisty because they know they're 5th-ranked team in the nation. They know they're coming off a big win. They realize that Kentucky's dominated them in the past couple seasons for a while now. So Kentucky, they can't let this be a letdown game. They can't let this be Evansville all over again, where they play like garbage for 40 minutes and they lose their top 5 spot. They need to come out. They need to play with a lot of energy, a lot of passion, and need to win this game and win it by a blowout. I don't want to see a nail bite. I don't want to see an overtime win against Vanderbilt. That should not be the case. Get a win, get it comfortably, and move on. So Kentucky tonight, Nets night, Knicks night. Islanders fresh off a win last night against the Senators 4-1. They will wrap up their first half of the season today at home against the Kraken, which was supposed to be on Sunday. Well, actually, was it Sunday or Saturday? I forget. Saturday, right? Is it I forget. No, because the Rangers played the Kraken on Sunday. Yeah, so it was supposed to be, Saturday? Yeah, it was supposed to be Saturday. It never happened, so today it is going to be rescheduled due to the weather that hit the New York, New Jersey area. Alrighty, so like I said, Mondays, Wednesdays are the short videos. I know yesterday was a shorter video. It still was a 47-minute video, but today's only going to be about a 30-minute video. Like I say, Mondays, Wednesday due to scheduling, shorter. Tomorrow will be back to an hour. Friday, depending on how things go, I might be able to get like a 45-minute video in. I can't guarantee it, but tomorrow should be a full hour, plus video or somewhere around there. I want to get to some MLB. I want to get to some of that stuff. But today, come fresh off a win, I want to get to the Rangers midseason update. So that will be the main topic today. I want to talk about the update, give you the stats leaders, give you all you need to know midseason and what to expect going into the second half of the season. So I'm going to give you the goal lead, score leader in goals, and as we all know who that is, but all that stuff, points, goals, assists, all the guys, just kind of go through some numbers, look at, kind of take a little bit of a sneak peek of what's to come in the second half in terms of schedule and some teams and stuff like that. And, overall, just recap, what we took from the first half. Now we shift towards the second half, and now we really shift to a big stretch from February into the postseason. A big stretch here coming up. February and into the postseason will be a very big stretch for the New York Rangers. So I want to get to that, recap the first half, and give you a little bit of a sneak peek of what to come in the second half of the season. Rangers are 47 games into the season. So technically halfway was 41, but 47 games in, they reached the All-Star break. Get to the midseason update, and then we'll get to the New York sports update. Like I mentioned, Knicks, Nets both on tonight. You got to hope that neither New York basketball team disappoints, because they've been disappointing recently. You got to hope that neither disappoints tonight, because if the Nets lose their 6th straight and the Knicks lose at home and they lose badly on national television, that's not good. So, just for the sake of New York sports, let's see if both basketball teams can do good tonight for once, and can the Nets beat somebody for once? Like, come on. 5 straight losses? I tell you what, and I know there's an update to the studio, so just a quick update to the setup here. Move my Jets and Rutgers helmets over here, and I got a new Julius Erving pop head. And I was going to say, I got a Julius Erving jersey, and I've been waiting to wear it. It's a City Edition jersey. I obviously have a Kevin Durant City Edition jersey, and I've been waiting to wear it. And it's been and I got it a couple days ago, and I've been waiting to wear it for the time that the Nets win. And they haven't won since I got it, so I've been waiting. So maybe tonight's the night. We play an 18-34 Sacramento Kings team. Maybe tonight's the night. Let's see what happens. Alrighty, a lot to get to today in a short amount of time. With all that being said, this is BSN Podcast, and let's get right into it. Alright, so unlike the basketball teams and the other hockey team in New York, the New York Islanders, who have not had a great season, they stand right now 38 games in. They have 38 points. They're 16-16-6. They can get over the NHL 500 mark tonight if they beat the Seattle Kraken, go into the All-Star break. And unlike the Nets and the Knicks, who have both been struggling, Knicks having a rough year, Nets just injured and just not playing well overall. 5 straight losses. You hope they can snap that streak tonight. The one team right now out of all the teams playing in the New York sports is the New York Rangers. And out of all the hockey teams, even counting Buffalo Sabres, they're a rebuilding team that's not very good. So out of all the hockey teams in New York, the Islanders, and then go to the basketball teams, right now the Rangers are one of the hotter teams, and right now they're one of the teams that are playing really good. And they capped off their first half of the season last night with a 5-2 victory up against not just a Florida Panthers team, but a very good Florida Panthers team, and that's a team who came off of an 8-4 victory on Monday night against the Columbus Blue Jackets team, who did score 4 goals. So it's not like the Blue Jackets didn't score at all. They scored 4 goals. If you score 4 goals, you should put yourself in a position to win games. On Monday night, however, the Panthers just had a spree of scoring 8 goals, I believe 7 within the first 2 periods. They added 1 extra, I think, in the third. So 8 goals, 8-4. You come off of second half of back-to-back. And last night, I'll tell you what, just to give you a quick recap, and I know I talked briefly about this before, but last night, right, the game for the Rangers last night started really bad. I mean, really bad. And maybe I should take that back. It started good with the goal. But after that, the next 18 minutes of the period were all Panthers. They obviously had the 1 goal that got called back to an offsides, which I agree with the call. I definitely agree with the call. Uyghur was over the line, and I agree with the call. But they catch a break there, right? There's no doubt about it. Whether they didn't overturn or whatever, they call it a break. It was a goal. It was they didn't get back. It was shorthand. It was an uneven man. They had a man advantage, not on the power play, but it was like a 3-on-2, I think, or a 2-on-1, or I think it was a 3-on-2, because I think it was a 3-on-2 or something. And either way, I think it was a 3-on-2 or whatever. They get it gets overturned, but then the Panthers score, and I don't know what Libor Hajek was doing on the one-timer where he just seemed to flinch. It's like he saw the guy was gonna shoot it, and he just flinched. He's like, I'm not getting in front of this puck. He should get in front of that puck, and if he blocks that puck, we're probably talking about a 5-1 win instead of a 5-2 win. But I can't complain, right? And like I said, you start off that game not great. The Panthers are coming out. Panthers definitely look like the better team. And when Duclair scored that goal, Hajek did not get in front of the puck at all. It did not look good at all. And the Rangers were just getting dominated. And the shots after the first period were crazy. I think the Rangers only had 5 or 6 shots on goal after the first period. It was not pretty. Second period comes around. You have Reinhart who gets a goal, 2-1. And it's a power play goal, and you're like, oh, God, what now? It's 2-1. You take a power play, bad penalty, and it's like, all right, here we go. Then the Rangers bounce back. Lafreniere with the goal. Chris Kreider then with a goal. By the way, Chris Kreider with the goal. Ooh, that was his, 16th power play goal of the season? He then got his 17th in the third period, and I don't know how in the world Mika Zibanejad made that pass, but he somehow did, and he somehow gave it right to Kreider and put it right on the stick, and Kreider just tapped it in. I honestly think Kreider, when he scored that goal, the other power play goal in the third period, when he scored that goal, it was like, watching that, I was like, what did I just see? I just saw Zibanejad pass a puck through 2 defensemen, a Rangers player, and the goalie was standing right there. Somehow gets through all of them. And Kreider's there just with his stick out and taps. So Kreider didn't even move his stick. He literally tapped on his stick. It moved, and then Kreider kind of just pushed it in a little bit to just get the extra boost to get over the line. And I think Kreider looked at him like, how in the world did you just pass me that puck? And the Rangers end up winning 5-2. But the second period was huge. Second period was huge to come out in the second period and play the way that they did. Came out much more physical, much more aggressive. Things were getting a little chippy, much more physical, much more aggressive. Ryan Strome then gets into the fight, which I really like that because Strome took a tough hit. Probably could have been a penalty. Look, it was definitely a blind side, but it was definitely a hit near the head area, and I could see why Gallant was frustrated. And all that stuff, and I can see why Strome was frustrated. And Strome, good for him, sticking up for himself. Actually won the fight, landed some really nice punches, and won the fight and stuff. And that's the stuff, right? That's the stuff that we didn't see last year out of the Rangers was guys stepping up for themselves. The physicality and stuff. We went out and got physicality. We got Gaudreau. We extended Lindgren. Strome, Strome could talk. I mean, he's not a guy to typically get into fights, but he could definitely deliver some hits. He definitely sticks up for himself. If he takes a big hit, he's gonna come at you. He's not always gonna fight. He's not going to be a Ryan Reeves where he's hitting guys all the time. But if he gets hit, he's going to come back at you, and that's what he showed last night. And I like that. I like that aggressiveness out of the team. And the big story coming out of this game was they start off the second period, you let the power play go, and it's like, oh God, it just did not look good. and then you play a really solid second period after that power play goal to start the period. You score 4 unanswered, which, empty netter by Panarin, late. What was it, like 51 seconds left or something after that goal, and Panarin scores late. You get the win, and it's 5-2, and you get a win against a really good Florida Panthers team. And I don't think many people expected the Rangers to win this game. I was optimistic. I wasn't crazy optimistic, but the only reason I was a little bit optimistic. The reason I was really optimistic was, number one, one of the main reasons why I really felt optimistic about this game was, number one, Sergei Bobrovsky was out. Spencer Knight, I believe it was Spencer Knight. Yeah, Spencer Knight was in. So Bobrovsky was out. He obviously played Monday, second half of back-to-back. Sergei Bobrovsky was out. So, starting goaltender out. Anytime, a young Spencer Knight coming in. Bobrovsky's one of the better goaltenders in the league, was out. Second half of back-to-back. So, that was optimistic. That was a part where I felt good about it. There's also that part, too, where it's like, second half back-to-back. They're in Columbus. They got to make that flight. It's going to be a late night. You always got to put all that stuff in, too. But the Florida Panthers are one of the best teams in the league. They are one of the best teams in the league. And I think Gallant, Gerard Gallant, saying what he said to the team after the Seattle Kraken. It was a win. But it was sloppy. It was ugly. A win's a win. But if you play that way against the Panthers or some of these other high-level teams, because the Kraken are, their first year in the league and they're not a very good team this year. You play that way against some of these other teams, you're going to get crushed. And last night, the Rangers started off slow. They didn't play the way they wanted to in the first period. Got outshot by a ton. They did not the Panthers looked like the team that wanted it more. But then the Rangers came out and played the second period. They were the better team. And ultimately in the third period, they were the better team. It resulted in a 5-2 victory. And right before the 13-day break that's beginning today, they reached the 30-win mark, which is always nice. You get the 30-win mark halfway through the season. So the Rangers are now 30-13-4 going into this All-Star break. They are 47 games in, like I said, 30-13-4, 64 points, which is tied for the Carolina Hurricanes. But let me mind you, Carolina Hurricanes have only played 42 games, so 5 less games than the Rangers. And the Rangers, to finish out this stretch of games, they went 7-3, and they finish out on a winning streak of 2. Overall, in the first half of the season, at home they were 15-4-2. On the road, they were 15-9-2. So both above 500 records at both home and away. 145 goals for, 100 goals, 122 goals allowed. That's a differential of plus 23. And right. You like to see that out of the Rangers. 47 games played. They've actually played the most games out of any team in the Metropolitan Division. So, out of all the teams, they played the most. So, they definitely do deserve this break. When you look at the standings right now, Panthers are number 1 right now. Rangers are right behind them, number 2 at 64 points. They're both tied for points, but Rangers are 2. Pittsburgh's right behind them at 62 points, and Washington's 59. So, if the season were to end today, Rangers would be the 2, the Hurricanes would be the 1, Penguins would be the 3, Capitals would be the 4, and the 4 teams that would be eliminated are the Blue Jackets, Islanders, Flyers, and the Devils. So, that's that. So, kind of what you expect coming out of the Metropolitan, those 4 teams, definitely. And overall, where the Rangers stand in terms of the entire league, right now, in terms of points, the Florida Panthers have 69 points this season. So they have the most points in the entire league. And the Rangers are the 5th team in the NHL in terms of points, 64 points. And like I said, a record of 30-13-4. So, look, last season was a struggle. It wasn't great. We went out into the offseason, brought in some more physicality, brought in the pieces that we really needed. And I know there's been a little bit of bumps in the road. I know recently maybe we're not playing our best hockey. Last night was an excellent game. I think you can make the argument periods 2 and 3 were some of our best played periods of the season. And that's against a really good Panthers team. I don't care who's in net. Panthers, just in terms of 5-on-5 and just in terms of a team that scores, they score a ton. They score a whole lot. And you know that they've scored 194 goals this season. That is the most in the NHL. The next closest team is 183. So they have 11 more goals than the next closest team. They score a ton. So I don't care who's in net, they're still going to score. And the Rangers took advantage of who's in net, scored, and they were able to stop the Panthers periods 2 and 3, and that's great to see. So look, you go now into this break at a 30-13-4 record, second in the Metropolitan at 64 points, 47 games in the season. If you told me this was going to be the case at the beginning of the season, I'd sign up for it every day. Now the big key is getting rested. You get some guys back, right? Kako will come back. Heedle will come back. You hope Kako comes back. I think Kako, right? Kako. You hope Kako comes back. Fox. Heedle. All those guys are going to be able to rest up and be ready to go come Tuesday, January 15th, which will open back up at the Garden against the Bruins. So that's huge, is to get those guys back, get those guys here. So from a fan standpoint, it stinks to have these breaks. I hate it. I can't stand it. I've always said it. Off-season, too, as a fan, never. I mean, free agency and stuff's always fun, but off-season, as a fan, you always love watching the games. I've always said I don't like the All-Star breaks as a fan are terrible. I can't stand the All-Star breaks. I like watching the All-Star games and stuff, but that's the one thing about the NFL. It's like at least the Pro Bowl's at the end of the season, but I can't stand when the Jets have a bye week. I love when my teams are on and I get to watch them. That's what I love. 2 weeks without the Rangers is going to be a long time. I'm going to have to figure something out to do because the Nets aren't out every night, right? Usually it's the Nets, the Rangers, Nets, Rangers are usually watching something. So Rangers being off, I'm going to have to watch, the Nets are going to be the only team. And it's funny because when the Rangers return on January 15th, the Nets on January 17th, that's their last game until their week break, which is the All-Star break as well. So the Nets and Rangers are kind of, Nets come back, Rangers come back, and then the Nets will be on their All-Star break. But, it was an excellent first half of the season. Definitely excellent. Really good. New coach. Teams playing really hard, and who knows, maybe we make a couple moves here and there, but it's definitely good for this break for the players. Like I said, from a fan, I don't like it, but from a player perspective, you rest up, 2-week break. I don't think any other NHL team really has this much of a break. A lot of this break, a lot of the time during these break of the Rangers, a lot of these teams are doing makeup games. Like the first game, I think is again, Monday again. I'm not sure exactly, but the first. Let me see here. Monday, February 7th is when the next NHL games are. So after today, Monday's the next time NHL plays, other than the All-Star games coming up. But the Rangers have a big break, and that's also because there's a lot of other teams that got to remake COVID, reschedule and replay COVID games. So, Rangers, you get time off for the players. They get it, probably go back to their families and stuff. It's almost like a little bit of an off season in the middle of the season, which is kind of weird in a way, but it could definitely impact the team in a positive way. And I'm hoping it does. Get some guys healthy, you come back. Fox, will be back whether he's not back right away. He'll be back shortly thereafter. Kako will be in the mix too, and Heedle will be back. And Fox, his absence has definitely been noted. There's no doubt about that. So, and look, you go into January and you finish off on a high note, right? You get a win against the Panthers, the Rangers, 7-3 against the Coyotes, beat the Kings. You lose to the Wild, but you beat the Kraken. Now you beat the Panthers, and you finish the first half of the season with a very big win against the Florida Panthers. And look, coming out of the second half of the season, it's not an easy schedule to start. And I'll tell you right now, you got the Bruins, Red Wings, Senators, Capitals, Penguins, Canucks are the rest of February. So the 6 games coming out of the break are not 6 easy games. The worst team out of all of them is the Senators, 14, 22, and 4. But after that, you have the Capitals and the Penguins. Back-to-back games. Not back-to-back nights, but those are back-to-back games. And a Canucks team who's fighting. They're battling. Canucks team who, I know they've had a lot going on with their organization, but they're not completely out of it either. They're fighting. They're battling. So, definitely coming out of the break. It's definitely going to be a very, very, very interesting schedule early coming out of the break. And you got to hope that the Rangers respond in a positive way. And after last night, you got to feel optimistic going into this break as a fan. And coming out of it, you got some big games right away. All right, so let's get to some of the stat leaders, and then we'll wrap up the podcast with the New York Sports Update. Team leader in points going into the break is shocking Artemi Panarin. He had 52 points. Finished the first half of the season, 42 games played, 13 goals, 39 assists, a total of 52 points. Repping the Panarin jersey last night. He had an empty netter. He actually had a 3-point game. He had the empty net goal to cap it off, and then he had the 2 assists. So he has 52 points. The leader in goals is Chris Kreider, who's up there in the league. He leads the league in power play goals. Chris Kreider, 47 games played, 33 goals, 14 assists, a total of 47 points. Leader in assists is Adam Fox. Adam Fox, 44 games played, 7 goals, 40 assists, 47 total points. Trouba does lead the team in penalty minutes, 65. And Ryan Lindgren, who's been a very solid asset this season, leads the team in plus-minus. So he's had a really, really nice season. His plus minus has been plus 18. And he's 44 games played, 4 goals, 5 assists, and 9 points. So Lindgren, was a really nice player last season, extended him, and he's been a really nice asset again this season. All right, so the two main goaltenders, I know Huska played, and I know Kincaid's played a game as well, but the two main goaltenders for the Rangers, Igor Shesterkin, 29 games played, 22 wins, 5 losses, 2 overtime losses. He has a goal allowed per game of 2.10. He has a save percentage of .937. Goals allowed 59. He's made goals allowed 59, and he's actually had 935 shots against, and he's at 876 saves this season. Georgiev, 19 games played, 7 wins, 7 losses, 2 overtime losses, has a goal allowed per game of 2.99, rounded up to 3, 448 saves, a save percentage of .898, 51 goals allowed, 499 shots against. So, not a great season for Georgiev, inconsistent, but Shesterkin has been very good with that save percentage of .937, and without a doubt, if he keeps up what he did in the first half of the season, he will, without a doubt, be in the conversation. I botched a name every time, and I know for a hockey fan to botch the name is kind of rare, but I'm not very good with names. I struggle with names. I struggle sometimes pronouncing things. The Vezina Trophy, I think it's the Vezina Trophy. Well, you know what I'm talking about, right? So definitely in the conversation for the Vezina Trophy, and if he continues to play like he did in the first half, even if he does better, definitely will be in the conversation. So, Rangers' first half of the season comes to an end last night, 47 games in. I like what I'm seeing. I'm sure many of you do. And comment down below. Do you like what you're seeing from the New York Rangers, and how far can you see this team going come postseason time? Alrighty, so that's what I got for the New York Rangers and their mid-season update. Really enjoyed that. I love talking hockey all the time. I love it. I love talking hockey. Always a lot of fun. I gotta admit, hockey, out of all the sports I watch, hockey's definitely up there as one of my favorites. I mean, even just if there's nothing on one night, like if the Rangers aren't, if none of my favorite teams are on, I'll just sit back and watch hockey. Like, hockey is so much fun to watch. I still say it to this day. I don't know how people hate the sport. Like, I don't know how people don't like it. I don't know how people don't like the sport. And then, look, everyone has their opinion. Everyone does. And some people just, it's not as popular, so some people just don't watch it because, not many people talk about it much. But, like, I'm telling you, if you don't watch much hockey, and, maybe you're looking at, one night you're looking for something to watch, you gotta, put on a hockey game. Because it's so much fun. It's awesome. And I find myself constantly where I'm looking at the TV, and I find myself, my head's going everywhere because I'm following the puck. And you find yourself looking at the TV for minutes and minutes and minutes straight, like you're not moving your, because it's just constant play, right? Unlike other sports, there's stoppage of play, and hockey's definitely a very exciting and fun sport to watch. And anytime there's a shot on goal, it's like, and hockey in person too is great too. In hockey, so first half of the season almost ended. Tonight will be the last games, and with that being said, let's get to the NHL games on tonight. There's 5 games tonight before the All-Star break. Islanders Kraken tonight. I'll give the Islanders the win. Capitals, Oilers, game of the Capitals. Kings, Red Wings, I'll take the Kings. Coyotes, Flames, give me the Flames. And Wild, Blackhawks, give me the Wild. As for the NBA, got a good amount of games on tonight. We got the Pacers and the Magic. I'll give the Pacers the win. 76ers, Wizards, give me the 76ers. Grizzlies, Knicks at the Garden. Knicks are 24-27, looking to turn things around. I'm going to take the Grizzlies. Very good team this season, 35-18, and man, John Moran, that roster has been amazing and very fun. They're a very fun and entertaining team to watch. Young and up-and-coming team that's really reaching its full potential. So give me the Grizzlies. Celtics, Hornets, I'll take the Celtics. Celtics, Hornets, I'll take the Celtics. Cavaliers, Rockets, I'll take the Cavs. Mavericks, Thunder, give me the Mavericks. Jazz, Nuggets, give me the Jazz. And Lakers, Trailblazers, I will take, give me the Lakers. Give me the Lakers. Actually, give me the Trailblazers. I don't even know. If LeBron plays, I'll take the Lakers. If he doesn't, Trailblazers. Nets also play tonight, second half of back-to-back as they continue their West Coast road trip. Nets come into this game 29-21 on a losing streak of 5, so you got to find a way to snap that somehow. Kings come into this game a struggling 18-34 in the season. Nets are 4.5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 233. This game is on tonight, 10 p.m. Eastern on NBCS California and Yes Network. Let's see, 99% of people in the Nets will win this game. I'm going to join those 99% because I do believe the Nets will win this game. I do believe they will end this losing streak, and you got to hope that this is a win of maybe a string together a couple wins now. I do believe the Nets will win tonight, so give me the Nets. As for college basketball, got 6 AP top 25 games on tonight. Xavier Butler, I'll give Xavier the win. Purdue, Minnesota, give me Purdue. Houston, Tulane, I'll take Houston. Illinois, Wisconsin, I'll take Illinois. That's a big one. And Villanova, Marquette, give me Villanova. Kentucky, Vanderbilt on tonight. Kentucky comes into this game 17-14. They are the 5th-ranked team in the nation. First time this season. They've cracked the top 5. Vanderbilt's 11-9. Kentucky's 14.5-point favorites. The over-under is set at 141. This game's on today, 7 p.m. Eastern on SEC Network. Give me Kentucky. You know, it might be closer than what you think, but I'm going to take Kentucky. This has the potential. You know, this could be a letdown game. You know, 5th-ranked team in the nation coming off a big win. You got to make sure that the guys are dialed in zone in. I believe in Calipari can do that because he's done it many times, but definitely got to win this game, and you got to win it by a good amount. You can't let this game be like a 1-point victory, else, you know, right? It's a win's a win, but to when they make those AP top 25s, they also go back of quality of wins, and they also go to scores. You know, do you cover? College does a lot of that. I disagree with it because I'm a big believer in no matter how you win, but that's the way things are. As for fantasy basketball, I'm currently winning 310 to 246. And today I've got going Darius Garland, Buddy Hield, Desmond Bain, Kelly Oubre Jr., Nikola Jokic, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, Rashawn Holmes, John Morant, Miles Bridges, and Tyrese Maxey. Got a load of injuries. So Garland won't play tonight due to a knee or back injury. Kelly Oubre's day-to-day. He'll be available tonight with his ankle, so he should be good to go. Jokic's day-to-day, he's questionable with his toe. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's still out. He's got a right ankle sprain. And Donovan Mitchell will be out tonight with a concussion. So, a lot of injuries still trying to get guys back and healthy, and we'll see how things go in that regard. Alrighty, that will do it. Good podcast in the books. I know another short, and I apologize. Believe me, I really enjoy doing the long ones. I anytime, you know, like I said, I know I went through a stretch there towards the end of the year, more like November, December, where I missed a whole lot of days. More so like October and into November and stuff where I missed a whole lot of days. There was a stretch where I missed 2 weeks. And it's because I tried to do an hour podcast every day. And I figured that's just not going to be the case. So I got to, if there is days like today where I only have time to do about a 30-minute video, what are we on here, 32 minutes? I'm going to do it. You know, even if it's just a 15-minute video, I'm going to try to get a video out every single day. That's been my plan. That's how I used to do it. I used to get hour videos out, but, you know, now I only have so much time to make a video. So, 30-minute video again today. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. It was another good one. Like I said, I plan on tomorrow being another full-hour video. I want to talk about the MLB because things aren't looking good. Things continue not to look good in the MLB. I also want to get to some Mekhi Becton and some Jet stuff. I haven't talked about the Jets in a little bit. There's a lot of news going on about the Senior Bowl and an interesting thing Salah said, which I actually heavily agree with on Mekhi Becton and the possibility of there being a training camp battle at the tackle position. So a couple topics in mind I want to get to, and I'll figure it out and, you know, see how all that plays out. But that will do it. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. As always, I will see you all back here tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it, and thanks for watching.